My eyes hurt a lot. I do not know why. So if I rub my eyes a lot while I film this, while you're seeing this, no, you didn't. Hello, if you've been here before, welcome back. If not, hi, my name is David. I make videos talking about media that I want to talk about. This is my edition of the Bookish Bucket List tag. I was tagged by Edie Lewis. Thank you so much. I'll have his account and his video in the description below, so go check that out. These are just 10 prompts, different bookish related things you'd want to do before you kick the bucket. I have a playlist of other book tags. If you want to check that out, please do. And without further ado, let's get into the Bookish Bucket List tag. That's a mouthful. Question number 1. If you could meet one author, dead or alive, who would it be? Now, I didn't really think of this very much until I started thinking about the authors that I really love. And I'd love to meet David Mitchell. David Mitchell, who wrote Cloud Atlas, Number 9 Dream. I also read Slade House, but I don't have that. And Bone Clocks. Pull those out. Bone Clocks, Number 9 Dream, and Cloud Atlas, one of my favorite movies of all time that was adapted from this book. David Mitchell is very complex in his writing, and his prose is very dense as well. And so I'd love to get to meet him and be like, hey, David, what's wrong with you? Also, you're amazing. And can you go inside? And all of his stories, or most of the stories that I've read of him, do connect in some small specific way. And I'm like, I need to be able to pick your brain to understand exactly what's going on. Question number 2, what book have you always dreamed of owning, but not necessarily reading? So this is like a book that you can show off or something. I guess special editions are really fun, but I think that's a little superfluous. But if there is a special edition that looks really nice, I would just get that instead of the other print of a book. But I haven't seen any special editions that I'm like, oh, I need to get my hands on these. So I don't really know. But I think a book that I would really want to have that does not exist, maybe, is a bound transcripts of the Magnus Archives and the Magnus Protocol. I think having bound transcripts of seasons 1 through 5 of Magnus Archives, and eventually, once Protocol comes out, season 1 through 3, just to have it physically. I would display the heck out of those that have their own specific shelf. I'd just be like, yes, this is the Magnus Archives in a book form. That'd be so fun. I wouldn't, that's not very good reading because it is just transcripts, and you lose a lot of the story when you don't listen to it because it's an audio format medium. Transcripts are there as a building block for it, but it's definitely really good reference if you want to go back to remember something. Question number 3, what is one book you think everyone should read before they die? Let's go back onto the David Mitchell bandwagon. Cloud Atlas is an amazing, amazing, complex story. And it's 6 different stories that build into each other and are written in very specific ways that I think reading this will just expand your brain. And then watching the movie, directed by the Wachowski sisters, is just amazing. And I highly recommend it. I bought this copy ages ago. And I wish I had the original copy, but the movie cover edition, it's kind of camp, it's kind of fun. So, but yeah, Cloud Atlas is definitely one of those books I'm like, you need to read it to fully get it, Question number 4, name something you have plans to check off your bookish bucket list before your year ends. This one, I interpret this as a goal that you want to hit before the end of the year. For me, it is to read more books in terms of compared to what I've read prior. 2 years ago, I read about 20 to 30 books. I'd have to check my Goodreads, about 20 or 30 books. Last year, I read 86 books. And I will say there's an asterisk to that in that about half of that, exactly 36 books of that, is just the Animorphs audiobooks. So there's an asterisk to that. But so far, I want to reach at least 100 books read this year. And I'm already at 70 books right now, 70-ish books as of September. And I'd love to reach 100. I'm not running to reach 100. If I reach 100 books read this year, that'd be so cool. That'd be so amazing. But I'm not going to try to do more than I should because I'd like to spend some time with better books instead of just smaller books. But we shall see how it will, what I will reach towards the end of the year. But I think saying to get to 100 books read in a year, that is a pretty interesting goal to try to reach towards. Question number 5, what books have you always wanted to read or complete reading? Again, sort of coming back to what I said prior, Animorphs. Animorphs by K.A. Applegate has been a series that I have wanted to read for the past few years, ever since I kept seeing more and more things on Tumblr about how good the series is and how interesting it's written. I wanted to actually experience that for myself, to be like, yes, I read those campy children transforming into animals books. And I'm like, there's a total of 54 books, not counting spin-offs. And I think we're at book 37 with Audiomorphs. And that's a series that I was like, I need to read this. I need to read this. And I am actually accomplishing that. I accomplished most of it last year. But I will eventually just keep chugging along, just keep listening to the audiobooks as they come out, because it's a really good series. There are some duds. We just finished a somewhat dud, and we're in a somewhat okay-ish book, but that's a series that I've been wanting to read for a hot minute. Question number 6, what booktube video have you always wanted to make? There's a lot of books that I want to talk about, and not enough time, not enough energy either. I want to make videos about the anthologies that I read. I will be doing reviews for that, but I feel like that is just to be able to process the anthologies more. Also would like to make videos about books that I love, but I would also love to make analysis videos. There's a specific video that I want to make that is analyzing how robots are written in different mediums, specifically in Westworld, in Dungeons and Dragons, or specifically an actual play of Starship Odyssey from Dimension 20, and another actual play, the Alien TTRPG game. The way that robots are written is really interesting, along with, where is it? Here we go. Of Monsters and Mainframes by Barbara Truelove. Interesting depictions of robots here. And I would love to just make a video talking about the different ways a robot's reality is written and displayed in different mediums. And that would be really fun. Also, comparing different books. I'd love to make a comparison between The 7 or 8 Deaths of Stella Fortuna by Juliet Grahams with The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I think both books are going for the same type of story, and I feel like Stella Fortuna accomplishes things better than Evelyn Hugo, and I would love to make that comparison video. There's been some sci-fi that I've read recently, YA sci-fi, that didn't hit right. 4 books specifically, I'm not going to pull them out, but making a video about why these 4 books are the way that they are in YA sci-fi space, that'd be really fun to do. And I just want to make more analysis videos, more talking about different books in one topic. That'd be really fun. That takes a lot of energy though, and so I just want to finish up all the projects that I'm doing right now before I move on to that. Because alongside of that, I will also make videos about podcasts, about Malevolent, Silverses, the Sheridan tapes. What's the other one? High Nay is also something that I wanted to get into. And so, alongside the analysis videos talking about podcasts, horror podcasts that I really like, alongside Magnus Archives, or Magnus Protocol as it keeps going. Question number 7, what is a genre you have always wanted to read? Mystery genres is a thing that I haven't really touched on that much. I haven't read that many mysteries and the ones that I have been either hits or misses, and I'd love to just get a broader sense of what the genre has to offer. Question number 8, if you could have an arc of an upcoming book, what would it be? I would love to get an early copy of Letters from an Imaginary Country by Theodora Goss. That is a collection of her various short stories. I've read 2 of which already. I believe they'll be in that, and I'd love to just get my hands on it and read it early, but it's coming out in early November, so I can wait until then. Arcs, I don't really know how to get my hand on them, 1, and 2, I'm patient enough. I have so many other books that I want to read that I'm patient enough to wait till the actual book is actually out. If you can hear the people above me walking around, I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure the microphone will not pick this up, but if it can, so sorry. Question number 9, if you could do a buddy read with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you read? So from what I've seen of different editions of this bookish tag, people are trying to pull out different historical figures, important figures. For me, honestly, I just do like my sister and my mom, because my mom's an immigrant. My sister's 13 years younger than I am. And I'd love to read books and for them to understand what I'm reading and get the same context, get the same lessons, get the same feelings. Because my mom, as an immigrant, she hasn't experienced the same things that I've experienced as a reader. And I want my sister, who is younger than me, to have these experiences as she keeps growing up. And so I would love to have like a buddy read where I'm like, hey, let's all read this book together. However, our schedules don't really line up. I don't live in the same state as them. It's like harder to do that, but I would love to be able to do that at least once a year, maybe. I'll find a way to do that. I'd be like, hey, let's all 3 of us read this book. Also, because my mom would better read in Spanish, so have to find a Spanish translation of the book for her as well. So that's a thing that I'd like to do. Yeah, I mean, that's a little sappy, but like I would like to read the book. I would like to expose my sister and my mom to the books that I've read, because I've read some amazing books. Number 10, name a book you have always wanted to read. So I have a list on Goodreads that shows the books that I want to read. And what I just did, I just looked at them, the earliest books that I have listed on there. And for a hot minute, the earliest book that I had on there was, where are you? This is How You Lose the Time War, by Amal El-Mohtar and Max Gladstone. This was a book that I had on the earliest 2020 when I started keeping track of things on Goodreads, top of the list. And at one point I just got fed up and I was like, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm gonna find it, buy it, and I did. So that's no longer the top of my list. And I've slowly chiseled away the list. And so I just looked at the earliest books that I have, and there's 2 of them that I added around the same time, at the same day, because it shows when I added them. So I'm like, these are the books that I've had in the longest in my list so far. And that's Conspiracy of Truth by Alexandra Rowland and Salvaged by Madeleine Roux. I don't quite remember what they're about, but I know that I've been wanting to read them. I know Conspiracy of Truth is a gay story. It's a, I believe it's about, I'm so sorry, if you know these books, please let me know if they're good enough to want to have read for the past 5 years. But I believe A Conspiracy of Truth is, the main character is like a magician or a wizard, and his assistant is gay. That's just a part of the story. But I just know that one of the characters is gay, and it sounds like a fun fantasy. And then Salvaged, I believe it's a robot in space that is salvaged by some pirates. I might be misremembering that. It's been 5 years since I last looked at a book, but that's on my list. So it's been a hot minute since I knew what those were. But the covers are amazing, though. I love the covers, especially of A Conspiracy of Truth. The first one, and I forget what the sequel is called. The sequel has a very similar cover that's also really pretty. And so those have been revolving in my mind for a hot minute. And yeah, that is the Bookish Bucket List tag. Thank you again to Edie Lewis for tagging me. I will, in the description, tag some other booktubers who I'd love to see your take on this tag, the Bookish Bucket List tag. And if you're watching this and you're not tagged, please, if you still want to do this video, please do, and just tag me in your edition so I can watch it as well. I've been putting out some smaller, quicker videos as I'm gearing up for a larger effort video, and that should be coming out pretty soon. So I hope this is prescient. Is that the right word? I hope that when this video comes out, eventually the big project that I'm working on right now will be out soon. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for watching. If you got this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to be passionate, and I'll see you later.